Hey there, this is Eric Louvier. I want to do a video where we talk about being afraid of ridicule. So many people are afraid of ridicule and it holds them back from succeeding online. And when it comes to doing YouTube videos, even if you're over the age of 40, over the age of 50, if you're over that age and you want to do your own YouTube channel, your own YouTube videos, be successful online, visibility is so important. Visibility is so critical to getting conversions and making money online. And fear of ridicule is a very real thing. If you're afraid of like the way you look, if you're afraid of the way you sound, you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, maybe you feel like you're too tall, too skinny, too fat, too big, too dumb, you sound like a hick, you got a hick accent. I mean, there's a million reasons why people hold themselves back because they're afraid of ridicule, or they don't like the way they look, they don't like the way they sound. Maybe you're not used to hearing yourself speak because you're only hearing yourself in your own head. And then when you hear yourself on camera or on a microphone, then you sound different than what you're used to hearing yourself. Or if you look in the mirror, maybe you feel like you look different than you do when you're on video. Videos may be exposing different things that you're not used to seeing in the mirror in a different angle. And so it's really easy to not like yourself or not like the way you look on camera, or not like the way you sound or how you carry yourself. Maybe, I know whenever I would be doing live calls when I first started doing this kind of stuff, I would do these calls where I felt like I was like practically yelling at people. I thought I was being really aggressive and, just really like hardcore, and I was beating people up. And then when I would listen to myself, I would say, man, I sound nice. I don't sound at all like I think I'm sounding. And I wanted to delete those files in the past because I thought I sounded one way when really I sounded completely different. So, I mean, I think that fear of ridicule is a very real thing. And let me just say this. I've been coaching people for 20 years online. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest money movers there is when you can overcome your fear of ridicule. What I mean by that is if you want to make a lot of money online or on YouTube, one of the biggest ways to bring money to you is to get over your fear of ridicule. It's one of the biggest money breakthroughs you're ever going to find, is to get over that, get over yourself. So I have some things to talk about. One of the big things I like to say is people don't realize how little others out there care about you. People just really don't care about you. They care about themselves. And I teach this all the time because it's a big breakthrough for myself. I thought everybody cared a lot more than they really do. And so one of the best stories I ever heard was in this book, in Slight Edge. And in the book, the guy says that when you die, on average, only 10 people will cry at your funeral. So you live your whole life and you meet all kinds of people, and people coming in and out of your life. And then at the end of your life, on average, only 10 people will cry at your funeral. Now that's very revealing, right? It's like you would think a lot more people would cry, but only on average 10 people cry. And then it goes further. It gets worse or better, however you want to look at it. When you have your funeral, the number one determining factor of how many people go to your funeral, the number one determining factor of how many people attend your funeral is the weather. And if it rains the day of your funeral, you can cut your funeral attendance in half. Half the people won't even attend your funeral because it's raining. So why do we care so much about what other people think? Like if I'm having a problem with somebody, I'm like, that person's going to be out of my life in about 30 minutes or 2 weeks or a month or a year. And they're going to forget about me. I'm going to forget about them somewhat. And they're not going to even come to my funeral, right? And they're certainly probably not going to cry at my funeral. So why do I care so much about what that person thinks? I recently heard that someone said, my grandmother taught me that people will be in your life for on average 5 years. And anyone that's in your life after 5 years is like a lifer. But most people are going to be in your life for 5 years or less. And then if you do see them later on down the road after 5 years, they're like complete strangers. They're like, you're nothing like I knew you 5 years ago. They seem completely different than they did 5 years ago. So it's like every 5 years we change a lot or something happens, something weird. But I've been thinking about that ever since. It does seem pretty true. Like if I've been around somebody like, let's say in the 1990s, when I was in my 20s, let's say I was around someone, for like 5 years, and I haven't seen that person since the 1990s, and then I see him at a reunion or I see him out and about somewhere, and we try to rekindle and, meet up again and talk. And that person is going to seem like a stranger. Like I never knew that person, like completely different than in the 1990s, right? People change. But it's really interesting when you think about how much we fear ridicule. We fear comments and in our own thoughts, right? How we feel about ourselves. We don't like the way we talk. We sound like some hick or hillbilly or something like that, right? That holds us back from living the life we want, achieving the dreams we dream of, achieving the lifestyle that we want to live, making the money the abundant income that we want to make. All of those things are held back because of a fear of ridicule, a fear of what other people think. And when you think about social media with TikTok and Instagram and all these social media divas and all these people flaunting themselves out there, it really makes it easy for people like us to think that we have to look like that, right? Maybe we're trying to emulate somebody who's a model or somebody who's, a celebrity or something, and they're paid for their good looks or their charisma. And we're comparing ourselves and trying to emulate those people, and that's not our tribe. Like, for example, I think of this one guy that I've known. He was like this young buck, right? He like was like a GQ guy, right? Like a fashion guy. And he attracted a lot of other young buck dudes who are just like him. And I remember him telling me, most of them are broke, right? Did you have a lot of money when you're in your early 20s? And he's like, that's not who I am anymore. That's not who I want to appeal to. And it makes total sense, right? So like, you got to know who your tribe is. Who are you appealing to? At this point in my career, I'm appealing to you. Hopefully, if everything's working out right, I'm trying to appeal to people who are older, who want to recreate themselves, who want to live their dreams online, despite, not being a young buck, not a young diva, right? Like I'm appealing to the people who are over the age of 40, over the age of 50, who want to make a lifestyle income and live an abundant life online, on YouTube. And by using high ticket offers to make those dreams and that life come true. And that's what I've been doing for 20 years, and that's my tribe. You have to appeal to your tribe, who your people are. So if you see somebody who's being a hater, who's picking on you or making bad comments, that's not your tribe. Like you got to say to yourself, that's not my client. That's not who I'm here for, and forgive them for they do not know, and let them go. But you're going to find haters no matter what you do. We can do a video with an angelic little baby, and people in the comments are going to pick on that little baby. So no matter what you do, you're going to get haters. So you might as well accept your haters, bring them on, and try to attract haters, because the more you're getting out there, the more the haters are going to show up. It means you're doing things right, okay? But meanwhile, your bank account's filling up, your lifestyle's great, you're able to live on the lake, drive around in a golf cart, wear a t-shirt, a visor, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be something that you're not, okay? And that's a really big deal. We really don't, do you really care what other people look like? Like, do you really care right now what I look like? Probably not, right? Like you're probably not going around looking at videos thinking like, I don't like the way that person looks, and that person needs to lose a little bit of weight, and that person sounds a little bit like a hick, and this person's too old, this person's too young, this person's too dumb. And you're not doing that. Maybe if you come across someone who's just irking you, you click away. But for the most part, most people are just themselves, and that's who you're fine with them, right? You're not judging them like that. So why would you be afraid of people judging you like that? And the small percentage of people who are judging you like that, who are judgers, they're just overly judgy, that's not your customer, that's not your client. Forgive them for they don't know, cast them off and move on, right? So I think we often make it a bigger deal than what it really is. And so therefore, you got to get used to it. I had this client, this lady, she was really good at doing videos. She was really good speaking. I really enjoyed talking to her. And we would send these videos back and forth to each other. That's how I was coaching my clients, right? We do these videos back and forth. And I told her, you're very good on video. Like, you need to do videos. Like that, this is a quick ticket to making a lot of income is if you can just do this on video. And she just wouldn't do it. And she would tell me, like, this is a big problem. I don't like the way I look. I'm too chubby. I don't like the way I sound. I like slip on my words too much. Um, I feel like I'm reading at times, and you know, whatever, all these different things. I'm like, here's your next steps. I want you to record 20 videos and don't even watch them. Just record 20 videos for me, send them to me. Don't rewatch them. Don't judge them. Just send them to me. I'm the only one that's going to see them besides you. Do that and it'll change your life. We could just throw the videos away, but you got to do this lesson. You got to finish 20 videos. And she went and did those 20 videos. She sent them to me and she said, I admit, I watched a little bit of some of them and I actually got better and better and better. She's like, by that 20th video, I compared it to my first one and I was worlds better than I was on my first video. I figured little nuances out, little intricacies of what it takes to do these videos for me. And I got really good. I got in the groove. I learned how to edit. I learned how to pause and figure out what my next point was going to be, and then just edit that out of the video and make it smooth for the viewer, and everything changed. And I'm like, that's really what I was looking for, is practice and repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skill. So the more you repeat things, the more you practice things, the better you get. So your first video is not going to be as good as your 20th. And your 20th video is not going to be as good as your 100th. And your 100th video is not going to be anywhere near as good as your 500th video. So the more often you do it, the practice makes perfect. You get better and better at it. You get more and more comfortable on camera. You're able to speak and be your normal self. And this is what people are going to resonate with, which is a whole nother point. Like right now with all the AI out there, all the fakery going on, all the glitter and BS, with all that going on, people are starving for authenticity. They're starving for people to just be real and just be themselves. And if you can be yourself, and if you can put yourself out there and take your personality and just throw it out there and just be yourself and help people, then they're going to resonate with you because they're looking for people who are real. They're looking for people who are authentic, who are transparent and are just themselves. They're already sick of the AI junk. They're already sick of all the fakery. So you have an incredible advantage, an edge, by just being yourself, warts and all, right? So listen, in direct response marketing, which I've studied for 30 years now, one of the elements of persuasion and direct response marketing and advertising is to admit a flaw. We call it a damaging admission. This is when you admit a flaw of yours. So you may say, like, you know, I'm on my second divorce, so I'm not perfect. Or you may say, you know, I filed bankruptcy twice in my life. I'm not perfect. Or you may say, like, I got my car repossessed, so like I'm not perfect. Or I'll admit, like, you know, hey, you know, I need to lose some weight. You know, I like to eat. You know, I'll admit and say things like, I got a little bit of ADD going on, where, you know, I'm either super too focused or like not focused, and too many moving parts is really distracting for me and doesn't work. It just, my brain shuts down. I need quiet focus, right? So if someone is walking by in front of me right now, in front of my golf cart, like I might be so distracting for me, I have to turn this off and then record in a minute when that person's gone. So, or if there was a boat going by that I noticed or something, you know, these little things can derail me. So it's like, look, a squirrel. But, you know, a damaging admission in marketing and copywriting and persuasion and sales is actually a very powerful technique, because it makes people realize, your customers, your clients, your tribe, it makes them realize you're normal. You can be trusted, because we buy from those we know, like, and trust. So if you're not perfect, then you can actually convert better than people that seem very perfect. So if I was all slick and GQ'd and perfect, then you may not be wanting to buy from me, because you would feel like I'm too perfect. Like it's not real. It's fake, right? It's AI generated. Whereas it's me showing up like this, needing a haircut and all that. I mean, it's cloudy outside. It's not perfect. We don't have lighting out here. I'm on a freaking golf cart with a t-shirt on. Like, that's as real as it gets. Okay. So that's more know, like, and trust than being all polished. Okay. And professional photo shoots with everything else going on. Leave that for the movies. Leave that for models. For you on YouTube, or anywhere else online to get high ticket clients, people buy from those they know, like, and trust. So the more you're yourself, the more they're going to know you, the more they're going to like you, and the more they're going to trust you. So if it's powerful in conversions to admit have damaging emissions, then and not to mention people will relate with that, right? So like when I'm like, hey, I'm 54 years old now, like, I'm not as like quick-witted as I used to be, right? Like all that kind of stuff. Like people are like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm going through that too. You need some creatine, which is another big point, which I call mirroring. You're going to attract people who like you. The world is this big mirror. Like, it's really eerie. It's really ironic. It's fascinating. I will get people to become clients of mine who are just like me. They have the same likes and ambitions. We just gel. It's like we've been friends forever, or like we're like long lost soulmates, right? It happens so often. Like when I do workshops, if people come down here to Lake Travis or Austin, we go in a conference room, everyone just hits it off so well because we're all like-minded. We're all like each other in some form or fashion. Like you may not be into college football like I am, but you may be into, personal development or online marketing or YouTube videos or, I don't know, fishing or skiing in Aspen or something. Like we will have our commonalities and they kind of rise to the surface, okay? So it's really important to understand that the market mirrors you. So the more you're putting yourself out there, the more you're being yourself, the more you're gonna attract people who are just like you. If you wanna attract high quality, high caliber, high net worth individuals to pay you money and pay you high ticket, then you wanna be high caliber, high net worth yourself. You wanna have a higher level of thinking when it comes to money and income if you wanna attract those people too. All right, so, but the point of this video is fear of ridicule. It can hold you back. It can prevent you from getting what it is you want online, what you want in your life. Don't let fear of ridicule hold you back. Another really big point is picking one niche market to serve. You should go after one specific type of client, one specific type of customer, one person that you want to serve. Like I'm serving you, you're over the age of 40, over the age of 50, you want to get high ticket clients online, build your own YouTube channel. That's who I serve, right? That's who I am targeting. Maybe you're a business coach or an executive coach or a life coach. Maybe you're an expert. Maybe you're just somebody who wants to make money online, and that's who I'm resonating with. So when you pick who it is you want to serve and you start using the language to serve those people, then YouTube, the algorithm, your thumbnails, the tags, the description, what you're saying, the transcription of everything that you're saying, all of that's YouTube's going to use that to serve your videos up to people who YouTube believes is going to resonate the most with that video. Now, that's going to get you more of you. It's going to get you more of your ideal client. So it's important to have one specific niche, one specific problem to solve, one specific solution, and one specific type of person that you want to serve and be like or help. And you're going to attract people who mirror you. Okay, so it's really important to think about that and understand where you're going with that because it makes all the difference in the world. I also want to say that if you can overcome the fear of ridicule and you can put yourself out there, you can take your personality and throw it out there, and you can be authentic, be real, be yourself, and just go for it, you're going to leave like 97% of the people out there behind. Most people never take any action because the fear is just too big. The fear of ridicule is too big. Their self-judgment is too loud that they never even take step one. They never even do videos like this because they're just too afraid. So if you're able to conquer that fear of ridicule and do it anyway, because these people aren't going to your funeral, they're not going to cry at your funeral. And even if they do go to your funeral, they're just going to go eat Mexican food after that and forget about your funeral in about 15 minutes. So it's really important for you to understand that if you can indeed conquer the fear of ridicule and do it anyway, despite the fear, then you're going to leave 97 to 99% of the people out there behind. You're going to leave them behind in the dirt because you're willing to do it and they're not. Okay? So do it anyway. Take that action anyway. Record your first 20 videos. Don't judge them, just record them. Don't even rewatch them. Just do the first 20 videos. Take my challenge, do your first 20 videos, everything will change for you, okay? If you have any comments about that, if there's something holding you back, anything you want to add to this discussion, make a comment below, let us know, let us join in and help each other out. And thank you so much for being here. If this is the first time you've watched any of my videos, it's great to meet you. My name is Eric Louviere. If you've been here to my videos before or been following me for 20 years, thank you so much for being here as well. I look forward to serving up more videos for you and sharing this wisdom. I've done tens of millions of dollars online. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And I just want to give back and help people like you so you can experience this kind of lifestyle too. All right? Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now. He gone.